Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Digital Nomad World weekly series. I'm Becky, and I'll be your host. And today we're going to be talking about starting Noad Exchange, a home sharing network for remote workers with co-founders Austin Laudenslager and Jonah. Guys, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
Hey Becky, how's it going?
It's going great because I am really excited that what you guys are building is going to help remote workers around the world have another option besides hotels or Airbnb. But before we get into that, I would love to hear about your backgrounds and first how you got started on your digital nomad journeys.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm Austin. This is Jonah, and yeah, we've basically had very similar journeys, which is exciting. Yeah, we've been kind of full-time traveling now, each of us 5 years. Before that, we met working at a construction firm in North Dallas. It was our first jobs right out of school. We were project managers building, large-scale commercial construction projects for, large clients in the U.S. And yeah, did that for about 4 years and ended up like burning out. Classic sort of digital nomad story. Did it pretty drastically, sold all of our stuff, started traveling full time, did a lot of soul searching, and launched online businesses, did the whole digital nomad thing. And then now we're sort of circling back to solve some of the problems that we've experienced over the last 5 years. That's pretty much how we got started.
That's great. I love how it's all started with building, and now you're building this, which is going to help people so much, I think. So, how did you guys what made you decide to start Noad Exchange? And can you tell us about this website and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like everything's kind of born from our own experiences. As Austin said, we've been digital nomads for a while, and this past winter, I'm a big skier, so I wanted to spend some time on the snow and was looking to go to British Columbia. So wanted to stay just outside Whistler, and I didn't know anyone. I didn't know where I was going to stay for the ski season. The housing is super difficult there, so I contacted kind of a friend of a friend and said, how can I get started finding housing outside of Whistler for 3 months? And he thought about it, and then he said, well, you can actually rent my condo in Squamish, British Columbia. And I was like, really? Like, where are you going to go for 3 months? And he said, well, I'm a remote worker. I work for Shopify, and my wife also is fully remote for another tech company. And Shopify has this work from anywhere program where they encourage their employees to work abroad for 90 days a year without taking PTO. I said, wow, that's really cool. So are you going to go do that? I said, yeah, I've always wanted to, but I've never been able to because I'm always paying my rent, my mortgage, plus trying to get a short-term rental for 3 months. It's way too expensive. So if you pay my rent here in Whistler for 3 months, I'll go to Costa Rica. I said, great. So we did. And I went up there for 3 months. Austin came to visit me. And while I was up there, I was enjoying his standing desk and dual monitors and fast Wi-Fi, getting my work done. And I said, how's it going down in Costa Rica? I said, well, I rented a beach bungalow on a short-term rental platform, and it's great, but there's no desk. And every time it rains, the Wi-Fi goes out, and I'm getting kicked off Zoom calls, and I'm not happy, and Shopify isn't happy. And so Austin and I are sitting there like, there's got to be a better solution for this. And that's kind of how we came up with Node.
This is the dream. Okay, yes, because I'm sure anyone who is already a remote worker who's listening to this has probably happened to them too. I'm going to name it like Airbnb, for example. I always think about the kitchen situation as a remote worker when you go in, and like the knives. The knives are never nice enough sometimes you can't even cut a pepper. I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
to the choir. The kitchen is a big deal.
yes, yeah. So having Node, okay, so what did you end up creating? How does this platform work? How do you get started on it?
Yeah, so yeah, you can kind of think of Node like a private members only Airbnb where everyone is a host and everyone is a guest. So on the platform, you have your own listing as a host. And because you're a host and you are contributing your home, you gain access to everyone else's homes on the platform. So you list your own availability. So like you list when you want to go somewhere and somebody can stay in your place. And so by having someone in your home, you earn credits that you can then spend at any other place in the network at any time. So it's a give to get home sharing platform, very similar in like the nuts and bolts to Airbnb, but very specific as well to our use case of this like home sharing community of remote workers. So yeah, the platform is actually live. You can go sign up, get on today. It's in development. We're making it better every day, and we've taken a lot of feedback in the first few months of our operation. We started with like a no-code MVP, and we're actually about to launch a full-fledged custom solution that we're really excited about. So everything's about to get amazing and much better for the actual users themselves to, really start to be able to have this tool that facilitates this on a very large scale.
Oh, that is so exciting. So do you have to have a home to be able to get onto this platform, as you said, to give and to get?
Yeah, so we're kind of validating a few different ways to reach like the true digital nomads that don't have a home. Both of us were that for 4 years, so we get it. But really the way that the foundation of the community and how it works is everybody contributes something. Most people will contribute a home, which is kind of like the supply side of the network. And in exchange, you get $0 per night rent-free travel. But we think that people who don't have homes could contribute to the platform in other ways. We're looking at starting like a local ambassador program where we have potentially a local ambassador in each city that could be onboarding new members, providing local suggestions to travelers who are coming to Lisbon in your example. And if we can create different unique opportunities for digital nomads who don't have a home to contribute to the community in a worthwhile way, then we can have people on the platform that don't have a home and have it all work.
It's amazing. So you said, it's $0 per night? Is there anything that I end up paying as I do my exchange?
We like to say that we're making cleaning fees great again because it is $0 per night, and the only thing that you pay is a cleaning at the end. And the nice thing about having professional cleaning done is when you host, which every member hosts and travels, you come home to a clean house. So we're making cleaning fees great again because it's super inexpensive travel. It's the only cost. And then when you travel and you come home, your house is clean, which is great.
It's super nice. I actually just had it happen last week again. And it's like one of the major perks of being on the platform is you get your home clean for free whenever you go away. So it's super nice to come home to a spotless house.
Where are you finding the cleaning services? Are you contacting the homeowners and maybe they've got something already set up, or curious how that works?
Yeah, in many cases, the homeowner already has it set up, but if they don't, then we handle that for them. We'll find a trusted, vetted local cleaner and sort of provide that to them as a starting point.
That's great. Another question that came up when you're mentioning, like, you can swap your place for another place, and you mentioned Whistler. I know it's expensive near Whistler, Squamish area. Do you earn more credits if you are in a more expensive, let's say, city to usually find accommodation in? Like, is New York getting you more credits than a place in somewhere in, let's say, Bulgaria would?
Right now, we're keeping it really simple. So 1 credit is 1 night all around the world. That might change in the future, but for now, we're seeing people get pretty excited about the idea of using almost this like geo arbitrage opportunity. So, if you have your place in New York, you're hypothetically making, making income that supports your rent or mortgage in New York, and then you just have 0 travel costs whenever you go anywhere in the world. And if you're and you want to go to Costa Rica, which is hypothetically a less expensive market, but you just use credits to go there, and then the person in Costa Rica can go to an expensive market like New York or Amsterdam for the same amount of credits. And so we're actually seeing a lot of people really excited about keeping it simple and not turning it into like a currency where if we start to, saddle it with all these requirements and it just turns into dollars again.
Yeah, we actually talk all the time about how, like, if this existed at scale a couple years ago or 3 years ago when we were living out of our backpacks, like, it would have given us a reason to get a place, right? Like, we could have gotten a place in Split, Croatia for 500-600 euros per month, stayed there for whenever we want for like 2-3 months a year, put it on Node for the rest of the year, earn credits. And with those credits, we could travel full time. And that way our hard costs are $500-600 per month, but we're living in wherever we want to be, like New York or San Francisco, for the same cost as what it's costing in Croatia.
That is such a dream. I love that. I'm like, I often get frustrated with seeing like let's say 3 different tiers of pricing, and like, I didn't make choices that allowed me to buy a place in New York, for example, or just wasn't from that region. It's so great to know that right now it's simple, and you can get so much more, as we say in the US, bang for your buck if you just have a place you can put on and share with others.
Absolutely.
Now, about the features on the website, I have to tell you that, on Airbnb, I get frustrated that there's no video option, or there's so few video options to see a place. Are you going to provide that option for homeowners? Can I show a video of my place instead of just photos? Because I find it so much easier to see what a place is really like when I can.
Yeah, you're on the ball. So yeah, one of the things that we're most excited about Noad is really leaning into video. So with our platform being more catered towards the midterm market, like we're not trying to be the weekend trip, like we're, week plus, midterm travel, sort of, workation-esque, where people are going places for longer periods of time. So we require a larger amount of like quality information up front for these people to make the decisions, because of course we've experienced the pain a lot in the last few years of like, wow, these photos look amazing, and then you get there and it's like, what the heck is this? Like, this doesn't look anything like it. So one of the things that we've had a lot of success with over the last few years is like getting video walkthroughs from the hosts of places that we're going, like one-offs on Facebook and things like that, where you actually like have the host walk through and talk and like show you the kitchen and show you the balcony and like poke their head out the window and say, this is what it's like. And then you've literally kind of been there. So like, we're going to make that a standard in the future for every single Noad listing. So like, we're taking out the unknowns and making it a lot more like, giving our users a lot more assurance of like what they're getting.
We want to lean into video a lot for the home walkthroughs, like Austin just said. And we also think it can be a great way to like foster community. Short-term rentals have gotten really transactional. It's like, say hello to your host, and you don't want to type anything in that box. Why, what if we could send a video or have a 10-minute, 5-minute video call? It's like you suddenly have a connection with someone, even in just 5 minutes, about the host feeling more comfortable with who's staying in their home, the guests feeling excited about where they're going, feeling like you have a little bit of a local connection. So videos can be important.
Yeah, I love that this give and get, because I feel the host is going to be so much more invested in hoping that their guests have a great time, and that they're going to go somewhere in return, and maybe even that own guest home in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, we've mentioned the knives, we've mentioned a few things, but what would you say are the benefits of home swapping beside versus using Airbnb or other hotels?
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's kind of like mostly two things: reliability and cost. So kind of going back to one of our early examples is with Noad, you can pay your existing rent or mortgage and then get all the travel you want around the world for 90% less than you would get otherwise. Pay your membership, $0 a night and a cleaning fee, and that's it. So cost significantly less, your travel costs. And then the reliability of, we have a members only community. We screen and background check all of the members, and we review every home for minimum Wi-Fi speed, at least one desk, kind of a work ready plug and play environment. So when you go on Noad, you know that you're going to be set up for success with your work. It's going to be a comfortable place. The knives are going to be able to cut a pepper. The kitchen's going to be fully equipped. It's going to be a comfortable place to be set up and live and work.
Thank you. So I'm also wondering, because it's going to be, let's say, my home that someone is staying in, what are the insurance policies in place if like someone breaks my TV, for example, when they're staying there?
Sure. So we're working with a really awesome third-party provider to offer $5 million damage protection for every booking. So we got it covered. It is really the short answer of it. It's great there. It's the same company third-party solution that's doing the guest verification and background check. So we know that every member that comes in has already been screened, which is already creating trust. And then if anything happens, accidents happen. We want to make hosting easy and stress-free. So, $5 million cover on any damage that happens, all facilitated through a third party, which is great.
Is that just a case of like, I should take photos of my house right before every guest were to come in and then show a photo of the damaged TV or something? I've never had to experience this, so I'm not quite sure how that works.
Sure. Yeah. So you just take, you can take photos of anything that's broken after the booking, and then submit that to Superhog, which is the third party, and then they will facilitate the conversation between the host and the guest so that it's all mediated, and then make sure that there's a correct cost estimate, and then make sure that funds are transferred or paid back in a timely manner. So it's all kind of hosted by a company. That's all they do. It's not us dealing with it. It's not you as the host dealing with it. So that's kind of how it works.
Thank you for explaining that. Okay, so I'm wondering, this is different. This is like new territory, this kind of exchange. I would think if people owned their home, they may also own a car that they park out in the front, driveway or nearby. Do you have any plans for extensions on top of the home exchange and adding a way to also rent their car or rent some piece of equipment or use what they've got in the house as an add-on service?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've thought heavily about. I mean, of course, when you go somewhere, you want some wheels, you want to be able to get around. So we're probably not going to put it innately in our platform, but we're exploring partnerships with platforms like Turo to where, we can provide an easy on-ramp for our members to easily give that sort of option to their, to their guests if they want to, make some extra money on the side through the booking, and then offer their car to be rented while they're there, fully insured through Turo and all that good stuff. So more of a third-party partnership to provide that, as a part of our platform, sort of.
Yeah, that's great. I am reminded I once went to an Airbnb, and during the check-in, the son of the owner was a driver, and I ended up asking him if he could just drive us around the next day because it was difficult to get a rental car on the island where I was. And yeah, just to be able to access a car that's already nearby or in the driveway would be fantastic. So I'm glad that you're thinking about options and ways to do that. So also, I was wondering if you could share, you kind of mentioned this earlier, Austin, but can you share an amazing home exchange that you've experienced or that you've already heard about from a user on your platform? I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So recently, I actually left my home in Mallorca, and that opened up a space for someone, one of our members from Boston, to come and stay with me while I was away. And that opened up his space in Boston. And we had a member from, I think it was Mallorca as well, go to stay in his place in Boston. So, yeah, long story short, it only takes one person to move in order to provide all these new opportunities and all these new life experiences for other members. So we're seeing these even on a small scale, this chain reaction that enables everyone to go sort of have all these additional experiences. And the feedback that we've been getting so far is super nice. Everyone in the community is typically leaving a thank you note, and then when you get there, it's some sort of a small gift, bottle of wine or whatever. So it's a really great experience for the members, just fostering this give to get mentality and being a part of this community that's enabling us to all sort of have more just by providing access to what we all have. So I think Jonah probably has some more to weigh in there too.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's interesting is we're trying to reevaluate or innovate on the idea of availability in itself. And so with short-term rental platforms, you either book it or you don't. It's available or unavailable. But we're kind of introducing this idea of flexibility, because that's what we have now as remote workers, is we have flexibility. So if you list your home as flexible, or send me a request, we've seen a couple people receive a request. This happened last month. someone got a request for 3 weeks. And like, well, I wasn't planning on going anywhere, but now that I have someone who could stay in my home and I can get credits for that, I might as well take a trip because I can work remotely. So they took a trip to San Francisco where they weren't normally going to go, stayed in one of our homes for for $0 a night, had a whole life experience, had a workcation that they wouldn't have accessed otherwise. So just kind of the like ability to be flexible and then receive a request and then act on it and have a set of life experiences. That's what I think is really cool.
Okay, that's great that you provide that in the platform. And it makes me think of another question for you. Is it possible, let's say I have a 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, is it possible for me to still be here, but have a way for these guests to stay in my 2nd and 3rd bedroom while I'm still here, but I'm getting credits? Is it the same number of credits if that were to happen?
Yeah, so we're gonna have 2 like types of homes in the platform. It'd be an entire place or a private room, which is pretty much what you're asking. We've seen a lot of people be super excited about the private room option. You get a built-in local host. You get a more of a local experience. That's really what Airbnb was founded on. That was the original idea. That's kind of changed a lot along the way. So we're gonna have both options supported in the platform. The number of credits that actually get charged for each one is kind of a moving target, and we'll probably modify that to make sure that everybody's happy with how it works in that economy. But yeah, we're going to support both, which we're excited to do.
Oh, that's fantastic. And another question that has come to mind is about pets. What currently is how are you dealing with the fact that people likely have pets in their home? Is that something you add into the description of your home? How has that been working on the platform?
Yeah, that's a great question. We get it actually a lot. So long term, we want to build in sort of a similar ecosystem to like a trusted house sitters, like a pet sitter sort of like section where you can connect with other members that have pets or that are willing to take care of your pet while you're away. Additionally, like adding in places that are pet friendly that you can take your pet, right? So those are features that will be coming in the future, but for now, we're just letting them like kind of sort it out individually because we don't have the features built in. But we definitely want to provide that sort of service and feature set because we understand that's such a hindrance for many people in terms of being able to go places and having the flexibility that people without pets enjoy. So we'd love to do that.
Yeah, it makes me think of plants as well. Like
Yeah,
you can have
plants.
certified plant sitter. I don't know what certified plant sitter means, but yeah,
That's a good
little
one. So we
descriptions.
just actually left like a whole list of instructions when I was away for the members staying in my home to take care of our plants, and he did a wonderful job. So so that's already already happening.
Yeah, it would be great to automate that, right? Like all these like lists that you think you need to include when someone's staying at your own home, and just there's a way in the platform behind the scenes to put that in,
Yeah.
or as the second step. Yeah.
We found actually that video takes care of a lot of that, which is great. We've had a lot of hosts either send a video before they leave, just walking around the house and saying, hey, here's where I'm stashing the key. Here's this plant. Here's, whatever in the fridge. Here's how you get fresh water. Here's how you turn the AC on. And a lot of those answers are in that video. Or one thing we're also supporting is if the guest and host want to actually have a conversation before they arrive, have a 10-minute WhatsApp video call and ask some of those questions and really get those answers straight from the source and kind of build that community and that relationship right off the bat.
Great. So you're mentioning features that might be rolling out. Are there any other features we haven't discussed yet that you plan to roll out as more and more things go live on the platform and its updated version?
I'd keep an eye out for a much more expanded kind of local ambassador program. Really, the second after housing, the second largest pain that we experienced as remote workers is like, okay, now I'm here. I'm in Lisbon. How do I know what to do, where to go, how to integrate with the community and meet people? Where's the best place for coffee? Where's the co-working place? Where can I go for traditional Portuguese meal? So an expanded local ambassador program with local guides or local meetups. Would love to hear from the community what would be useful, but I'd say that that's going to be a big focus of ours.
That would be fantastic. When you were saying these things, I was thinking about Couchsurfing. Did either of you ever use Couchsurfing?
I don't think so. I
We
haven't
did.
personally, but I mean, not the actual app, but you know, inadvertently. I've couch surfed a lot.
The actual Couchsurfing without a website. Okay. This is maybe just for humor here, but it's true. I actually haven't used Couchsurfing, the website, but the first time I thought about it was in Greece, a place that where I was didn't have a lot of accommodation options. And I'll never forget that the first thing I read was a description of someone who I think was a nudist. And I just said, oh, no, I can't stay there. I don't know if I feel safe, but I bring this up to say, it sounds like you're going to have some of these features and be able to like share rooms and have people stay in private rooms, but it's such a much more trusted platform that I think it can create some of those experiences that people loved. And we're nomads. We understand remote work. So we have that added benefit. I think it's going to up the safety tremendously.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to share with us about Node or anything happening in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're really at a point where we're looking to connect with the community. That's why we're super grateful to be here with you. So would really welcome anybody to reach out if they got feedback, if they want to get involved, if they like to suggest a feature, if they want to be a local ambassador or an affiliate, like we'd love to hear from you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to either of us and just mention that you heard us on the podcast, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks. And for those who are just listening to this, where can people go if they want to sign up to the website or get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, the website is Noad Exchange, which is NOAD exchange.com. Our Instagram is Node_network, and LinkedIn is Node, NOAD.
And for the ambassador program, what's the best way to get in touch with you if someone's interested in that?
You can just send us an email, which would be great. The email is hello@nodeexchange.com. And that'd be awesome. We can probably put that in the show notes or something too.
Yeah, we'll do that. And any other places that people can follow you if they would like to get in touch?
I think that's what we got right now.
Okay. Now, my final question to you is just a ballpark figure. How many homes do you currently have on the exchange?
Yeah, we're just about to go over the top of 100, and we're already in 25 countries and counting. So it's really like taking off in a lot of places all over the world, which is great. So a lot of places that our members have wanted to go, there's been at least 1 or 2 options. So we're really excited to keep adding more.
That's incredible. I can't wait to see where this exchange goes, and I can't wait to use it myself for the first time. So Austin and Jonah, thank you so much for joining us and introducing this to people who may not have been aware. Guys, if you're listening, if you're watching, sign up for the website, start looking around on it as it continues to grow. And hey, think about getting your own place as well. Like you said, maybe this is a new reason to do so.
There you go. Thanks so much, Becky. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Becky.
you, guys. Hope you have a great day.
You too.